guys, it's Nuggettacular here, and today I am back with another speed build. Today I got my inspiration from a tiny house that I found on Pinterest. It doesn't turn out to be that tiny when I'm finished, unfortunately, because you can't really do a whole lot with what we have and with like space and everything. So you'll see me here. I'm trying to get the layout correct. It was very hard to get to try to make it look like the original tiny house that I had found. Just because we're so limited with what we can do in build mode still. Excuse me, sorry. So I'm trying to put the stairs out and everything. This tiny house looked very craftsman-like, I guess is the style, and it looked really, really cool. Like, I wanted it to be very modern and industrial on the inside and have a completely craftsman-like style on the outside, which kind of worked and kind of didn't. But I liked how it turned out in the long run. So you see, like, it's not that tiny, unfortunately. Like, it's kind of like the main size of the house. I think I adjusted a little bit later on. But yeah, so I was trying to like do like half walls for the top floor, but it didn't really work out like I wanted it to. So they'll end up becoming full walls later on. Because the tiny house that I gained the inspiration from, it was, excuse me again, it was kind of like the second floor was the loft area, which you can see here I'm building out right now. And like the top floor wasn't very tall. Like the whole thing, and it just like makes it look like an actual house when I put the second wall or the second floor walls up, because it's a whole other level that I didn't want to add. It was just like the ceilings in the main house were so high that it added, or that they added a loft portion, and it just didn't like, it wasn't really what I wanted to go with, adding a whole top floor just to achieve this loft area. So I want to get your guys' opinions on that. Like, can you, or have you tried to do that where your ceilings were tall enough in the speed build that you were able to do a loft? I don't think you can. I don't think there's an option to do that without building a whole another floor. But anyway, I wanted to get the layout on the inside as well correct. I will post when I post the screenshots, I will show you what the house looked like, where my inspiration came from. I'll put those pictures in as well as screenshots of the actual of the speed build. I thought this was a lot of fun. I've never used an actual house as inspiration for a speed build, so it was interesting to try to match what I found in the pictures of the speed build with what we had in The Sims. And one of the issues that I had was this hallway here that I'm working with now, because the kitchen is on this wall that I'm putting that I'm working out now, and the living room is in this corner, and then there was a hallway from the stairs going back to the back wall, and it led into a bathroom, but I couldn't figure out where exactly it was laid out, so I ended up putting the bathroom behind the kitchen wall, which I think it still works. And then in the screenshots you'll see me, I kind of staged it a little bit and put like a accent table and some flowers and stuff, which I didn't do in the video itself, but like I said, you'll see that in the screenshots. But It was, sorry, it was very difficult to try to get the right siding and stuff too to match, because it was blue. It was blue siding on the whole house, but on the side with the door, it was horizontal, or no, vertical slats. It was actually like metal siding, I want to say. And we don't really have anything that matched that. So I ended up doing this wallpaper on the whole house instead of doing the actual siding pieces. I just thought it looked better for the house itself than doing the slats. So yeah, that's the layout of the house right now. I put the flooring down, I got wallpapers up, and now I'm going to actually start putting stuff in the kitchen. This was really difficult to lay out as well, because in the actual house, it was laid out so you had the stove, a countertop, and the fridge, and then you had a whole side of counters on the other wall as well, and then an island in the middle that had bar stools under it that slid underneath, and that was the table. That was very, very hard to lay out because there's so little room in that area that it would be impossible for your Sims to actually move around and use those areas properly, with it leading directly into the living room. So I was trying to move it, or trying to maneuver it enough that you could still use the space, but it was still confined, I guess. I don't know. Like, I wanted to use the table instead of the island so that it looked like you could slide the chairs underneath of it. But the bar stools that I wanted to use, you can't use with the table. So I ended up using an actual island later on. I tried to test these, but I didn't really like the way it looked in the space. And it would have been too crowded if I ended up doing that route. Because, like I said, the living room was going to be like right here, and it just does not work. So, I don't know. It was a lot of fun to do this, but very, very difficult trying to map everything out. And then when I finally went back and looked at the pictures of the house, I messed it up. So the spot where the door is, that's where the living room and the kitchen is supposed to be. I flipped everything around. So I was beating myself up about it because it looks if I would have done it that way, it probably would have worked better. But I don't know. I think it looks pretty good still, and I don't know. You'll just have to let me know what you guys think of the house. I didn't do too much landscaping to it as well. You'll see later on. Just because in the house itself, it didn't have a whole lot in it, which I don't know. I didn't like the way that it had looked, I guess. So now I'm setting up the kitchen the way I needed it to be, the way that it was in the pictures. And like I said, I used the island, although I'm not a huge fan of the island. Like I said, if we had something where I could have put bar stools underneath the table or whatever, it would have worked a lot better. But unfortunately, it just didn't work as well as I wanted it to. And like I said, you can't really tell that it's a tiny house. It looks just like a small house, not a tiny house. But yeah, so I don't know. It was a lot of fun, but it just didn't work the way I wanted it to. But that's okay, because it's awesome still, I think. But anyways, I apologize for how long it's been since I've posted a video. I have been sick. I've been like super sick. I like am just getting over it now. Like you've heard already, I already have a cough, or I still have a cough. But I'm not nearly as bad as I was a couple weeks ago. So I apologize for the lack of videos. You'll see them again. I had posted a couple, or I had recorded 2 City Living Let's Play videos before I got really sick, and none of the audio recorded. So I'm going to have to redo those, unfortunately, but I just decided, since I was feeling a little bit better, I would do the speed build, and so yeah, that is what we're doing. I don't know, I have decided that I'm going to do more videos like this, where I get my inspiration from actual houses. I've been on Pinterest like crazy trying to like find houses that I actually like, that I want to build. So it'll be a challenge for me, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Just because I don't know, it's not something that I usually would do, and I'm hoping that it benefits me by doing it this way. But we will see. So I'm trying to lay out the windows a little bit. I go with the longer windows in most of the house, just to give it a lot of light, because in the original house there is a lot of windows. It says floor to ceiling windows in the whole house, so I wanted to give that feel in this one as well. So I don't know, I think it turned out pretty good. We will see. But yeah. And I'm trying to set these shelves up. I wanted them, because the shelves in the original house had industrial piping on the sides, you know, like the big like industrial shelves that they're doing now, where they make them themselves and they're just like the planks and then they have the piping on the side. Well, that's what I wanted to do, but it wasn't working. Like what we had, or what I had like a custom content stuff, like these pipes. They didn't look like I wanted them to, but they still worked, I think. So I just left them, put some decorations and stuff on them, which are really cute. But yeah, so I don't know. I wish we had more. Like I thought we would get some more industrial stuff, since it's so popular, and I thought we'd get some more since we got City Living and like the warehouses that we can build and all that stuff. So I assumed we would get some more, but we didn't, or not the stuff that I wanted, I guess. But that's okay. So I'm just putting some decorations about, some plants, using the enlarge key to make the plant bigger. And here's where I add the faux brick walls and stuff, which I think look really nice. It gives it a little bit more of an industrial feel. And yeah, so I don't know. I decided to put it on the kitchen wall too, which you'll see here in a second. I think anyway, you should see here in a second. Changing up the railings and stuff now. I don't like how when you put the stairs on the wall and you've got that line there, I really cannot stand that. So I end up later pulling that wall forward. But I don't know if I did that when the video was finished or not. So it's definitely in the screenshots, but I'm not sure if it's in the video itself. So I have to look at that. Now I'm just getting the bathroom set up, and all that stuff. It's really, really small, so it was very hard to get everything laid out as I wanted it to, but it worked in the long run, I think. So yeah, just setting that up, getting the decor in there. But yeah, so like I said, I want to start doing real life houses when I do these speed builds instead of just like making it up as I go. Just to give me a little bit of practice, I guess. Because I'm not like the best speed builder, obviously. I'm really not, but I want to get better. And I'm challenging myself to make these houses as best as I can would definitely help out my speed building. I don't know. I like the way that it worked, I guess. I don't know. It's just like I said before, it's very hard for me to set this up. Like, it was very hard for me to like make it look like the house itself, because I mean it looks like a tiny, or it looks like an actual house. It's not very small, unfortunately. And I wanted to put the trim around the walls, but it wouldn't work for that top room there since it wasn't, since it didn't have the flooring. It wasn't like an actual room. So the trim was going on the inside of the house instead of up where it needed to be. So unfortunately it didn't work and I had to take it off. But in the real house it had that trim, and it would have been nice to give that look. Like I said, it's very craftsman-like, so I wanted it to have that feel. But I ended up leaving it on the top floor and taking it off on the bottom. I believe anyway. I think so. And then having a wall trim to kind of match on the top, on the half walls up top. So I don't know, I think it looked okay. I really wanted a window that had okay, sorry about that. My dog decided to chew up a basket, so I had to stop him. But like I was saying, I wanted to do something with the trim, and unfortunately it just wasn't working. Oh, like sorry, I remember now what I was talking about before that. The windows. I wanted something that had like a little tiny window on top of the bottom window. That's a whole wall. But we didn't really have that, and so I was trying to do something like that with the top here. That's what I'm trying to do now. But it just didn't work like I wanted it to. Like, I wanted something like that, but for one segment of the wall. If that makes any sense. Like 2 wall segments. But it didn't work, so I tried something different instead. I liked what I went with, I think. So, I don't know. That tree's going to go back eventually, but it was kind of like in my way, so I took it out. So I'm getting the bedroom loft area set up now. I can definitely see just like a single couple living here, maybe not even married yet. Definitely not having any kids in this house. There's just not enough room for it. I mean, eventually I guess you could expand on to the house, but the lot is so tiny and the house itself is so tiny that there's no way you could fit a baby in this house. Or a kid, anyway. But I really liked how modern the house itself turned out. Modern, industrial. I just love it. It's definitely, I should have done like a different, should have done different wallpaper, or like paint colors as well, but I don't know. I just think that I think the gray is nice, neutral color, and if you were to download this off the gallery, which it'll be on there, if you were to download this off the gallery for yourself, you could definitely change the colors to whatever you need to. I'm trying to get the lighting to work, since the front rooms of the house and the bottom floor is so like, or since they have the high ceiling, since there's no ceiling there, it looked really weird to put lights like just hanging. So I ended up putting this one right there, right above the island, and then doing like the wall lights here on this main wall, which actually looked kind of cool. I think it gave it like an artistic feel. I think it looked nice like that, those lights. I don't know, I just like, I like the way it looked. So, and then I put these on that wall, which I think looked nice. And yeah, it's it was a lot of fun, like I said, trying to do this. And I think I'm almost done with the inside of the house, and I start working on landscaping here pretty soon. And it does look a lot nicer, I think, when I get that done. I was trying to work out the stairs too, because they were kind of weird. I don't really know. And in the house it had like gravel underneath the deck, and it looked kind of nice, but we didn't really have anything that matched it, so I went with this one instead, the terrain paint. And then I wanted a walkway, which you'll see in the pictures of the actual house, how they looked. And I couldn't find anything, or couldn't find what I was looking for, and then I found it a little later. But I tried so many different tiles, and I couldn't find one that looked like that had the effect that I wanted. So I ended up going with the large fancy tiles in City Living here, but they will get changed. And I think it's, I can't remember which tile it is that I end up going with in the long run. But, yeah, I don't know. I just really like the way that it turned out. And I will be trying to do this regularly, so maybe once a week you'll get a speed build from me, and then you'll get my original, my Let's Plays and stuff as well. But I really wanted to get some inspiration to do this, because I've been watching other Let's Players and stuff do these amazing houses, and they just don't look good. They look good, but my houses never look good. So I was trying to figure out some way to do better, I guess. And I don't know, I think this is a good challenge for me. So like I said, I'll try to do a speed build once a week, and then have my other Let's Plays in as well the other days of the week, at least for a little while. And then we will figure out other things to do as well. So I want to do the new games, and my dog is being such a little butthead. So anyways, getting the backyard landscaped. I wanted to put some plants out in the backyard because I felt like this house, since it was technically supposed to be a tiny house, I wanted it to be self-sufficient, so you can grow your own vegetables and fruits or whatever in the backyard. So I thought that was kind of nice. A nice little touch. I'm trying to get the top. I was thinking of doing a grassy area on the top, but then I decided against it and just went with concrete. So see there, I changed the tiles. They look a lot better than the other tiles that were on there, I think, anyway. But yeah, so I'm just kind of getting that all organized, and I'll start landscaping here pretty soon, I think. Yeah. But like I said, I wanted to landscape it a little bit, but it didn't really have a whole lot. in the actual house. So I just added like this tall grass and then added some lavender to it as well, just to give it a little bit more oomph, I guess. But yeah, so I don't know. I think it looks okay. It's definitely different. Definitely something that I usually don't do. So I don't know. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of dirt or whatever to make it look a little bit more realistic. Put that around the trees and the plants. I don't know. And I liked that one because it made it look a little bit more realistic around the tree. Because they're usually not like all grass or all dirt. They usually have a little bit of grass and dirt, I guess. So I'm about done here now, I believe. I'm just kind of decorating it a little bit more. But for the most part, this is pretty much it. So the screenshots are up next. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. And as always, make sure to subscribe. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video here. And if you did, make sure to subscribe to me and stuff. That would be awesome. And here are the screenshots. I hope you guys liked it.